Guys, we need to talk about something. Something serious. There are things out there that are doing great, tremendous work, and they're not being recognized. They are highly rated and underappreciated. No, I'm not rapping. I'm not talking about your mother or your friends. I'm talking about these 5 fucking awesome TV shows. Sam, cut to the fucking intro.
Oh shit.
Alright guys, here are 5 TV shows that you should definitely check out that didn't get the recognition that they deserved. The first one is an example of something that you guys royally fucked up on because I didn't get my 5th season. However, at least it still ended really well because I knew they weren't gonna get it. That one is Banshee. Motherfucking Banshee. Such an awesome show. It's about a man who works for a Russian mob boss, and he falls in love with his boss's daughter. They try to leave this crazy organization behind, but he gets ambushed and makes sure that before he gets sent to prison that she can go free. After many years being tortured in prison, when he gets out, he goes to find her. She ends up in a town called Banshee, and this is not your average fucking town. This show is a crime noir drama, but it's an action lover's dream. The choreography, the music, the characters, it's all like it's straight out of a comic book. A very badass comic book with badass characters, badass music, badass fight scenes. Just so badass. The show starts out so good and it keeps getting better every fucking season. They are very highly rated, very beloved by their community of people that actually watch the show, and I recommend that everybody that thinks that this description is something that they might like, check this show out. It is not on TV anymore, but if you can find it cheap or on iTunes, or hell, even if you have to stream it, just fucking watch it. It is so good. This next show, I think it's that big YouTuber's favorite show. What's his name? Sam, do you remember?
Philip DeFranco.
No, it's the anti-Semite, the fascist.
Cenk Uygur.
He got outed by that really reputable news source, I think Wall Street Journal?
Ah, yeah. PewDiePie.
Yeah, that's his fucking name. Anyways, I'm talking about Man in the High Castle. It gives us about as realistic as we can get view of what the world, especially America, would have looked like if the Nazis and Japanese had taken over in World War II. It humanizes both sides in very interesting ways and brings forth interesting questions about what society would have been like. However, there is one big twist that makes this show awesome. There are these films lying around that the characters pick up, and these films show an alternate history where the Allies actually won the war, and they see America thriving. And who the fuck is this Man in the High Castle? Well, that's what this show is all about. It is so cool. If you're a fan of sci-fi, alternate history, any of those things, awesome actors, great cinematography, this is the show for you. Man in the High Castle is an Amazon Prime show. I don't think it's super popular. Not too many people are talking about it, but it's definitely worth checking out. It is so good. It's one of my, I'd say, probably top 10 TV shows of all time, and it's only on its 2nd season. It is phenomenal. The third show I'm talking about is Hannibal. Sadly, again, you guys fucked up. This one got cancelled. But Anthony Hopkins, you can take a back seat to Mads Mikkelsen. Holy crap. Again, that might be controversial to say, but if you've watched this show, you know he kills it as Hannibal. This is probably the darkest, most disturbing TV show I've seen, with fascinating insights into what it would be like to be Hannibal's friend. This show follows the story of Hannibal pre-Silence of the Lambs and basically leads up into the Red Dragon era. Again, it got cancelled before it could go into the Silence of the Lambs story, which I'm pissed about that. But it is so good. Again, Mads Mikkelsen kills it as Hannibal. Literally the best psychopath cannibal I've ever seen in my life. The show is so good it makes you actually wonder about the things that he's doing in like interesting ways. Like, is what he's doing actually like good for you? Like those humans actually look real tasty, and the psychology behind everything, which is a big part of the show too, is very interesting and mind fucks you basically every single episode. And again, this has some of the most disturbing but thought-provoking scenes out of any horror show I've seen. And this is not like some pop-up horror bullshit. This is, again, things that'll really make you think about what's going on screen and disturb the shit out of you. Anyone that loves the Hannibal story or the Hannibal universe and loves horror shows has to check out this TV show. The fourth show I want to talk about is The 100. The show has been gaining traction, but I still don't feel like enough people are talking about it. It is basically about a group of survivors who have left Earth after a nuclear war to survive in space. After survival station after survival station started going down and people dying, there was one ship left. And that ship was depleting out of supplies and oxygen, so they had to figure something out. They send a crew of delinquents down to the planet Earth hundreds of years later, or about 100 years later, I think, to check out if life is sustainable. They go on a heroic mission to see if they can plant and seed new life on this planet, but they are definitely not the heroes in this story. When the crew lands on Earth, they quickly find out it was not completely abandoned, and they are definitely not the only ones on this planet. It's a show that explores the human instinct for survival, political conflicts, and how bad we are at communicating with each other. It's full of plot twists and turns that'll blow your mind. It's got decent actors, they're all like, you know, there's some really good actors, there's some mediocre actors, and there's some good actors, but in general, the writing and the character decisions and the plot development and character development make up for some of the weaker spots and still make it an amazing show to watch. The show reminds me a lot of something like Game of Thrones mixed with the short TV show called Ascension, and it just gives a fascinating insight into what would happen, and it deals with a lot of other topics that you might not expect and a lot of other sci-fi themes that you might not expect to be in this show. And it gets really exciting. And again, each season kind of gets better and better. Season 2 was literally one of my favorite, most dramatic pieces of television. And season 3 and 4 keep on nailing it, so I'm really excited. It's been renewed for a 5th season. Definitely more people need to watch this, support this show. Try it out, see if it's for you. I think if you like sci-fi and shows like Game of Thrones, you will like this. If you guys love the 80s and technology as much as I do, you'll probably love Halt and Catch Fire. Halt and Catch Fire is actually a computer engineering term. Its definition is halt and catch fire, an idiom referring to a computer machine code instruction that causes the CPU, Computer Central Processing Unit, to cease meaningful operation, typically requiring a restart of the computer. That basically sums up this show, not in terms of the computer, but in terms of the people the show deals with and the events this show deals with. It's basically about a group of people who come together made up of artists, businessmen, and innovators that try to compete in that 80s Silicon Valley market of the personal computer. The show spans many themes, of course involving computers, antivirus, gaming, which is a big part of it, and I don't want to spoil another one because it's a huge kind of epiphany moment in the show, but it spans really interesting topics. It is fictional, but it's based on real events, and the universe they're in is actually based on actual history. So it also involves little snippets from Microsoft and like AFI and Apple and all that kind of stuff too, as well as other services that are related to like gaming and stuff like that. It's got awesome writing, awesome actors, and again, if you're a nerd, if you love technology, if you're interested in kind of the history, but you want a really cool story in that time period, and you love 80s music and 80s hairstyles and 80s women, you will like this show.
Bring back the hair.
So guys, those are 5 TV shows that I think more people should watch. Give them a try. They're not for everybody, but they are fantastic shows. They are highly rated, underappreciated. I know there are many other shows out there like Mr. Robot or Black Mirror or even Vikings that seems to get shafted by Game of Thrones. So let me know what other shows there are that I might be missing and that the audience might be missing. And again, take everything, including this video, with a grain of salt. I'll see you guys next time.